It's bright as all get out, but we'll still rock and roll. Hey everybody, Sam here.
And Angela, and welcome to our channel. I want you to take a look at what we got over here. It is a beautiful mini, very mini excavator.
Micro.
That's a good term for it. That we are going to get some projects knocked out in the next week. That's it. We got it for a full week. So we get to have lots of fun on the homestead with it. But first things first, we need to put in our water line. We have several that we're going to have to put in for use around our homestead right here. So come along, let's start digging.
If you're new to the channel and you did not get to come with us on our journey as we installed our water onto the property, there's a link to that video down below. To summarize, we have county water out here where we live. So there we have a water tap at the road, and we trenched and installed our own water line 300 feet back and placed a frost-free hydrant. We've been running off of that stub ever since being out here, but today's the day we get to remove the single stub and add in multiples. The first step is to bury a water meter box down in the ground. We're not putting a water meter here, but we're going to use this as a point of junction or teeing off to the multiple different spurs and runs that we're going to have on our property. Having the box in the ground will allow us to have access to service it, check on it, and otherwise do stuff with the connections without having to dig everything up. So let's go ahead and hop on that micro excavator and carefully excavate around our frost-free hydrant and our existing water line in preparation of placing that box in the ground.
We have finished doing, well, Sam has finished doing around the faucet area, what hydrant I think it's called. And so before we turn off any water or anything like that, we're going to go ahead and, well, Sam is going to go ahead and dig to the house. Then we'll have to the soap shack and then to the greenhouse. Right?
Always say we. What I do, you do. What you do, I do. It's always we.
I am the boss. What is it?
That's true.
I am the overseer, so I guess I could say we. Let's go.
We just filled up Micro Machine, the excavator, with, I don't know, it felt like 3 gallons of diesel. Not much in that little guy. We had to stop and go get diesel from the store, and that also led to just, you know, maximizing the trip, going by the hardware store. Got a lot of stuff for an electrical solar project that'll be coming up later, but I guess I just say all of that just to yak at you for a second as we continue trenching along. We are right here at the beginning of the house, and we needed to go all the way to the other end, and that's 70 feet in length. We might be halfway there. Looking where I'm at now, where we started, maybe about 60 feet in length. So, I don't know. Let's get back at it. Well, I feel like that took forever, and in a way it kind of did, but it's done. We're totally trenched from beginning to end for our house water line. We're going to go ahead and install a water line. Why not? Let's do it before something happens and some of that trench fills in on us. For our water line, we would love to have been able to continue the blue SDR9 pipe. The same stuff we did for the water tap to the hydrant. However, the stuff is impossible to find nowadays, and if you can find it, it's super expensive, just for us where we are. So instead, after a little research, we've decided the best thing for us is going to be installing 3/4 inch PEX with some approved underground fittings for our probably just one coupler that we're going to have. So we're going to crimp it on to the connections that are here at the house and start laying it out in the trench.
So wow, all of those hours of digging, and then in like less than 2 or 3 minutes we get the whole line laid. Hey, I guess that's a positive though, thank you.
A lot easier than gluing PVC.
True, very true. So we are going to go ahead and just cover up at the edge right here, or right at the house corner area, just to kind of pin it down, but we're not going to cover up everything else until we can do the final connection and make sure there are no leaks, little holes, cracks, anything, so we don't have to dig it up again.
What you doing up there?
I just sitting.
Well, why don't you fire it up, buckle up, and I'll let you backfill this trench some with your blade.
Okay.
Let's go. That'll hold it.
What?
That'll hold it. You're great.
That was cool. First time I got to use the excavator with the blade.
This is a tiny one though. You're used to the bigger ones, aren't you?
Yeah.
Alright, take it to the house. Take it to the house. Take it to the cave. We have reached the end of our 100-foot roll. We're right here in the middle of our driveway, so we need to make a connection, a coupler, a union of the two to continue the water line. Our research led us to find out that shark bite fittings, the push to connect, are approved for underground use. In addition to that, shark bite sells underground wrap for your joints. That was news to us, but we're glad for that news because it's relatively easy. I was about to say relatively cheap, but no, that doesn't apply to anything nowadays but me. So they're relatively easy to install and not crazy expensive either. To connect them, you want to make sure your pipes have a nice square cut, no burrs, no problems, and you just push to connect them. It's as easy as that. Now, if you have one of these, make sure you get a removal tool. It's a little plastic horseshoe thing because that allows you to take these off if you mess something up or if you ever need to fix them in the future. Removal tools are like $2, so don't worry, not too bad.
They are cheap.
Yes, they are cheap. All right, so I'm going to attach the coupler to this side. Just place it over my pipe. Push. I like to give it a little bit of twist. It's not required, I don't think, but you just push it until it stops going. You'll feel it. It kind of bottoms out. To attach the other end. Start it there. A little bit of push, a little twist. That's it. Yeah, believe it or not, that's it. Amazing, because it doesn't look like it would hold anything. But they're watertight and approved for underground use. So here is some of the underground tape that I just spoke of. The directions say to peel it off, leaving this plastic in place. About how much you need, you want to make sure you overlap the joints of your coupler by ½ inch. So, I don't know. Looks like that's probably more than we need, so that's in my ballpark. We'll go ahead and cut it with this really bad rusty knife.
Why is it rusty?
Because it's went camping outside for a couple of 3 or 4 days. We didn't know where it went. We thought, you know, we mutually blamed each other, let's be honest. But Angela and I found it as we were digging the trench of the house there, so welcome back. Alright, and to attach this, you just pull it and wrap it. It says it will adhere and cement itself to itself. I don't know, magic. I'm going to use the tripod to hold this because my helper is running the camera.
You also pull as you go a little bit, don't you?
Yes. It's like stretchy tape.
And it's at 1 inch on the end, so make sure you give a good amount.
So this tape in and of itself is not sticky. I'm not sticking to it, but it is adhering to itself. If you've ever done electrical work and used the tape for electrical connections that you do stretch and kind of the same action, this feels very similar, but this is clear. There we have it. We have our waterproof push to connect taped up with magic tape from Aliens, ready to be buried. So we'll put it in the ground. It is about 7 o'clock in the evening, and we decided we're going to wait until tomorrow to effectively, literally cut the water line for our property and for our home on wheels, aka Campertown. We just don't want to do that tonight because then we're going to be in a rush, so we're going to be stressed out to finish it, connect it. And you know what, in a marriage, it doesn't usually lead to the happy, good old lucky times, you know. Guys know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So basically we're going to take all the lines and have them all run first, and then we'll cut it and attach everything
At the last second.
Yes.
We
Once
will-
all the work has been done, that'll be the last thing we do.
Right, when the work's done, we'll work some more. You guys know what we're talking about. That probably also leads to the question of, what are you talking about? What do you mean all the runs done? I mean, your
I
house.
kind of said that earlier.
I don't remember anything. It's been so long ago.
Well, we are going to run water to the soap shack. We are going to run water to the greenhouse. And then we are running another line towards our house for another hydrant.
There you go. So 3 more trenches to dig.
2.
Yes. 2.
Because this one is going, the house hydrant is going in the same ditch, whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just going to be a separate line in case something should happen. We don't, yeah.
Yeah, that was me. When we were talking and looking at materials in the store and calculating pipes or whatever, I said, I want a separate run, or rather, I want the house on its own.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if something happens, I want that one left alone. We can tee off and junction all the other buildings. I don't care. The house is pretty important.
It is very important.
So, all right. Have a good evening. Have a good rest. We'll see you guys in about 2 seconds, though. Well, we just finished trenching the greenhouse water line and it went pretty good. I'm getting the hang of the micro excavator and it's doing well. It also really helps the fact that our soil is mostly clay and no giant rocks. I hope that continues. All right, what we want to do next is go ahead and cut the excess from the water line of our house, what we ran last night, so that we can then take that amount and go as far as we can to the greenhouse. I don't think we have enough to go to the greenhouse, which means yet again another trip to the store, but it is what it is. I definitely want to leave myself plenty of pipe. I do not want to cut myself short. We're gonna bury a box, so I don't need as much as I'm doing, but I'm giving myself a safety. When working with PEX, these kind of cutters are amazing, well worth it. They'll also cut PVC up to about, I think a 1-inch diameter is the biggest I've cut with these, but definitely worth it for getting good, crisp, clean square cuts, and honestly being pretty easy on you too. All right, any bets? How far do you think this will reach? Come on, just estimate. Where's it gonna go to?
Trash can, maybe.
The trash can. Why do we have a trash can in our yard? That's where we store some of our firewood to keep it nice and dry. The other trash can out there at the garden is for chicken feed. The one back here is for people trash. There you go.
We have several.
We do. Every homestead needs at least 3 trash cans.
We're gonna take off with the pipe, see how far it goes, and then we have one more stretch to dig.
Yep.
And then the digging will be done for the water line.
Yes.
Many other projects to go.
You guys will see that in another video. We like to stack and maximize tool rentals.
Oh, we might as well.
Uh-huh. Just like when we did our initial water line, we did that, plus
Played in the pond,
did a
cleaned
lot
out
of trails
of
in the woods.
Yep.
Is that all we did? I feel like we did something awesome and magnanimous with it.
No, we just played in the woods, around the pond.
That's cool. All right.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
Oh, I was like, what?
Everybody's waiting
What?
for it. Let's go. To the trash can. Wait, you're about to pull me over in the ditch.
You know what?
What?
You may want to use that one for the soap shack.
Hey, that's pretty smart. If this goes to the soap shed, no joints, which means cheaper plumbing and no joints. Okay, well, yay, we'll just fling it over out of the way because we got to dig and everything here. Ready? Like a giant jump rope. Go to the end. Mary, black, 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 drove dressed. What's the thing?
What?
Whatever. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Why do you want it on that side?
It's out of the way. All right, what we're going to do now is trench our last trench for water line from here at Water Main Central to the soap shed, living back there behind our solar panels. We have the solar panels anchored to the ground, so we don't want to pull them up. So this run is going to be a little bit curved, a little bit more, I guess, wasteful in piping than you would ideally want, but it's still going to be fine. It's not a very long run, so we're going to knock that out real quick, and so we can be done with digging, right? Yeah, let's go. Just about 100 feet. And now we take the leftover white one from our second roll of the house, and it goes towards the soap shed. Go ahead and pull until I tell you to stop. we'll take all the excess to one end. Okay. What I have assembled is a mess and a mass of plumbing madness, but it is what's going to be our water supply for our entire homestead. Let's start here on the inlet. This is a brass 1" to 3/4 inch reducer because our main big blue line uses 1" fittings. It'll attach here. It goes into a shark bite adapter that then goes to a shutoff valve. This way we can turn off the house. Wait, it goes that way. We can turn off everything without having to run all the way to the road, have access, easy cutoff here. Then we have a T, and this is where we go from house circuit to greenhouse soap shed. So this will be the house circuit. This little elbow will be the hydrant we're going to install near the house at the driveway. And over here, we have a T out the top for the soap shed, and to the right for the greenhouse. So this is the, I don't know, it's probably close to $100 in fittings, and looks pretty cool. Now let's go put it in the ground. Ugh. Little muddy mess. Okay, before I make too much of a muddy mess down here, first of all, awesome, hooked up to the water line. It's been sitting here for about an hour or so. My brother came and chatted with me for a while. No leaks. This is from previously draining everything. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull this T-post out. I'll carefully do this without hitting the camera or the pipes. Just smushing the base in the ground. Let's pull this out now. Okie dokie. Okay, show these joints. It's flushing out good. That was when I was worried about having some leaks, because it's a different style. Okay, need some more pipe before I cover this up. If I have any doubt on any of these joints, it's this crimp connection. It's not supposed to be buried, but this is not going to be buried. It's going to be in this cavity, this underground cave. So I think it'll be fine, but of any of these, this is the one I'm a little bit on. See if I can grab our box. There, that's it. So that's good. Let me get some gravel in here. Oh, washing that shoe. Not the epic. Good grief. Whole world's just a web of lies. Let's see, that's the tall one. Okay, just like that. Welcome back. Angela and the boys were at Vacation Bible School, which is why you only saw me huffing and puffing in the ground for the past bit. So I got the junction box done. It's connected. I tested the lines as best I could, but I went ahead and put caps on the greenhouse and the house hydrant. The house is connected, but I have left our shut-off valves off because I didn't want to test the house water without you.
Kind of hard to see everything.
Yeah, I'm a little concerned about anything disconnecting in the move over, so we'll cover that tomorrow. And then for the camper, I literally just stuck our hydrant on the end of the hose. It's not even buried or anything. Just enough so I could flush the lines and everything and hook our camper back up for tonight. There you go.
We need water.
Yeah, water is important. So that'll be it for tonight. We'll see you guys tomorrow when we pick this project back up. So what you saw there is a plastic bag that Angela put underneath all the connections at my request. I couldn't tell if the ground was wet or if we had leaks. So the plastic bag's been on there for probably about 8 hours now, and there's 0 water on it. So awesome. We have turned on the water here because, like I said, we had to run the camper temporarily, you know, to hook it up overnight. But we have not done anything with the house. I wanted to wait for Angela for that before we officially turn on the water to our house. So let's go do that.
I'm about to flip the switch. Anything here? No. Ready?
Yep. Now we pray we don't see any water flowing under the floor. First we're going to hear the water heater
Filling
possibly fill up. Can't remember if I did the shut-off valve or not. What'd you do?
Nothing.
Water heater's making noise.
That was bubbles coming through.
All right, I'm gonna turn on the water heater valve. What?
I'm gonna walk down the ditch line.
Okay, also look under the house a little bit too. Everything seem okay?
It's all good.
Well, come inside. I'll let you flip the faucet switch.
Oh, I thought we weren't supposed to.
Shh, don't tell nobody. There's a bucket under there.
I can't get in this way.
No, go around, guys. I figured out what the hissing sound was we were hearing outside.
Yeah?
The toilet tanks were filling up. Yeah, we forgot to turn those off.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Well, okay.
No water. Ready?
All right, now purge the hot water line.
Is it gonna get hot?
No.
I know. Nice. Well, it went pretty well. We had no leaks.
Actually, no, you're telling a lie.
Oh.
We turned on the water. I come over here looking, I'm like, man, there's a leak.
Okay, it's before you get to the house, so I'm thinking like anything that came undone.
During transit?
Yes.
Okay, yes, no leaks there. But, like I was saying, walked over to the first shut-off valve, and there was a little bit of a drip right between where the threaded couplers go together. So I got the wrenches, tried to tighten it down as fast as I could, as quick as I could. Still leaked, so I had Angela turn off the water, the big valve in our little box. Wait a little bit, start to unthread it. I got hosed, literally hosed. It shot up on the floor of the underbelly there. I mean, we got to open up anyway, but so any drips and water you see there or anything like I've been sweating a whole lot, I'm just covered in water. So
It's clean water.
it is clean water. I went ahead and put more pipe dope on there, or the white. Okay, a lot of people see people wrap plumbing stuff in tape. There you go. Yeah, show it. Show it. This is the pipe dope. Not focusing. Whatever.
Great white pipe joint compound.
There you go. People in the trade call it pipe dope. Anyway, wrapped it again with that, or put a bunch on it, reconnected it, waited a few minutes, turned it on, and now we have no leaks.
Right.
So just wanted to tell the truth there, that it wasn't success at first, but we got success in the end.
Now, when we moved our house the first time,
7 years ago, before
Yes.
YouTube.
were the leaks drain related or supply related?
That was a nightmare. So let's take a trip down memory lane here. When we moved our house, it got moved about 35 miles, and we had to reset back up. First time we'd ever done any of this. First time
We didn't know anything.
we didn't know nothing. So we hooked it up to our well, cranked it on, sweet. And then it started to rain from the underbelly.
More like waterfall.
It was terrible. So we learned the hard way then that when a mobile home gets moved, back then we had all gray pipe, the bad stuff. And those joints popped apart. We had leaks under our bedroom floor. We had leaks at our laundry hookups. We had leaks in the front bathroom. And then not long after moving in, I want to say we were in there like maybe 3 days, the water heater tank connections just blew out on us unexpectedly.
I don't remember that. Probably because I had a newborn. But
You were, yeah, Isaac was a baby. You were inside. Your dad and I were outside in the dark. holding a flashlight in the middle of November.
I do kind of remember that.
Yeah. The 4-letter words that we talked about then. Just kidding. Maybe. So with that being in our history in our minds, we were pretty nervous about this.
We're like waiting for the underbelly to try and touch the ground going down so low, because that's what it did before. That's what I remember.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to cut it because you know you're going to get soaked.
Yep, I did.
So thank you, Lord, that did not happen this time.
Yes. Probably what has a big play in that part is the fact that we've pretty much redone the plumbing in the entire house. Especially now, the renovations with the laundry room and that kind of stuff. Pecs don't fill us now. That's all I gotta say about that. Okay, Elijah, turn on the sink faucet real quick.
Okay.
Here's temporary septic. Okay, you can turn it off. So what you guys saw there under the house is our temporary catchment for water. We don't have our house hooked up to our septic tank just yet. We do have the septic installed. That's a reminder. I need to do that video. It'll be after this one. The septic we had installed by a company, obviously. So our footage and our ability to really document it is not as great as we normally do, which is probably why we kind of been sitting on it, because I don't know what to do about it. So anyway, we do have our septic installed. So we have to get our house connected to it. So we'll do that with the plumber or whatever. Has to be licensed plumber to do it. So, it is what it is. After that though, we're pretty close. We are. Okay, pretty close with the really big stuff. Closer than we're
And then it's
been?
going to be more of drywall finishing, paint, and flooring.
You checked the trench. Do we have any water in our trenches?
We do not.
Good. Okay, water outside the pipe. Yes, right.
Yes, we do have water.
So that means I get to have some more fun with Micro, the mighty excavator, and backfill the trench and clean up our mess. Well, that worked out pretty good. I've got it at least mostly filled in. That little micro excavator is not very good for packing down fill, mainly because it disperses its weight very well across the tracks. So I'm going to bring out something that is larger, heavier, and will help pack it in much better. I'm getting ready to crawl in the hole and hook up the hydrant at the soap shed where it is legit all perfect and not just a temporary fix like we've had. I'm gonna show you what I've got up here because I'm not gonna bring the camera down into the mud hole. It's wet, it's muddy, I'm gonna be dirty, and I don't wanna risk ruining the camera. So I have a 3/4 inch T. This is gonna be the incoming line. It's gonna split off here. The hydrant's gonna hook up here. Then we have a step down from 3/4 to 1/2 inch. And then this is gonna have 1/2 inch pecs run from this on into the soap shed. Here it is above ground, nice, neat, and clean. And in 1 second, I'll show you it in the ground, probably pretty dirty. You guys are able to hear our generator in the background there because what time is it? It's late in the day, as always. It's always late in the day, right? At least in our videos. And we've exhausted our batteries from our solar system. But we have a video coming up showing that being upgraded. I'm literally finishing it right now, which anybody that follows us over on Facebook or Instagram, you'll see that I'm working on it. But just for a little context, that's going on while this is going on, while everything is going on. All right, this is not gonna be a good shot, so we'll just ignore this. All right, we put quite a bit of gravel down in there, probably at least the equivalent of 2 5-gallon buckets. That gives us a dry well of sorts, plenty of room for the water to weep out and drain away whenever we turn the hydrant off, and much more than we originally put on our first hydrant, which was not enough. So I think this works out pretty good. This is a lot more gravel. I think it's gonna do very well. Now I'm going to get this trailer out of the way and then start backfilling the trench with Micro, the excavator. There's the dirty one. Told you I was gonna get dirty. At least I put on my old shoes and I'm wearing my brown shirt.
I was hoping the other ones weren't on.
They were, but I turned them off.
Thank you.
I'll tell you, a little wash of the shed here.
It has been 2.5 months since I've had water in here, so this is nice.
And no more excuses. Now you can crank out the soap, right?
I guess.
Oh, yeah. 9%. Well, that was a multiple day project and not a whole lot of fun, but at least we had the excavator. That saved a lot of backbreaking work, and everything's connected and plumbed up. No leaks, and that's great. The smile says it all.
It's exciting having water in the house and in the soap shack and to the greenhouse and just everything.
The greenhouse hydrant we haven't done yet. I just did a plug and it stubbed out. Same thing with the hydrant at our house. I don't see a point in doing the one at the house because we still have to do our foundation work, you know, our skirting around the house. The greenhouse, I don't know, we'll get to it when we can. It's not dire. Okay, well, it probably is pretty important. It's the garden. So,
And the chickens.
And the chickens. Okay, we'll do it, but we're just not going to show it on video. It's going to be the exact same process as the one we did here at the soap shed, minus the whole tea and extra stuff. It'll just be hydrant by itself.
Right. Did you have fun on micro?
I did, but not really. I probably looked like a bear riding a cycle in a circus. I mean, you know.
It's tiny and it doesn't really have a whole lot of power.
It doesn't. It's not really powerful enough. It did fine for the waterline trench. But behind the scenes info, we tried to also use it for our main electrical trench for like from power pole to house.
Which has to be 4 feet.
Yes. It didn't have enough power. I spent 4.5 to 5 hours and got about 25 feet.
If that.
In length.
Yeah, it's not.
Out of 300 total to go. So we're gonna have to rent a bigger machine.
Stinks, but we got a whole lot done with this one.
We did. One of the ideas I had, because you know me and my squirrel ideas, is if we have to rent another larger excavator, we could always try and dig that little pond in our field. We have water that like sits in our field. We have the pond in the woods. It is spring fed. We are convinced of that at this point. And there's always been a trickle of like a little seep all the way through our field, down and over to the road way out there.
It's something we've talked about putting in. It's just not high priority for us right now because we want to get in our house.
Right, yes. But, you know, being prepared-minded Sam here thinks if we could have something, even if it's a little pond or something, it's a water source here on the property in case something happens to our public water. It's a backup. It's a redundancy. And it would be a second thing we could get out of our money for an excavator rental.
Yes.
Because that's going to hurt. Rentals are expensive. The little micro guy, we did rent for a week. And, okay, so a one-day rental was $175. A 1 week rental was $499. So you get a deal for that. Where they get you, though, is delivery. Because we don't have a vehicle large enough to pull a trailer with that. And delivery was $125. So, ouch. That's why we try and maximize it as much as we have or are able to with these equipment rentals. So, we'll see.
Well, the alternative is to get a shovel. And
No, the alternative is to pay somebody else to do it.
True. I'm not good at doing that, so.
No, well, no, you can't dig it with a shovel because we have, they call it shale out here, like a kind of a sandstone flat rock. It's not solid like granite, but it is more than the little guy will dig through. So
he cannot get through it at all.
Nope. He's like, forget it. Either way, that is in another video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this one. You got to see us destroy a lot of our property. Our driveway is no longer solid gravel. Even though we filled back everything I scraped off, it looks like a mud pit. Hopefully it'll, you know, our next big rains, we'll have a bunch of gravel show up. Maybe. I'm just hoping it's just kind of like dirt and mud.
Can it rain rocks?
Selectively rain rocks?
Just in that one little 2x2 space.
Yeah. All right, anything else you want to add?
I guess that's it.
All right.
Thanks for coming along. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. Otherwise, we'll see you guys next time on the homestead.
See you guys.
Bye. Paint and flooring.
Yep. We did get some ear scratching going on today.
Bugs.
I just about stepped down into our storm shelter hole. Hold on, get your hopes up. It's not a storm shelter yet. What?
Back on the excavator.
All right. Can't see me. Wow. Hello, camera. Oh, the joys of filming outside in the sun. There you go. There you go. I didn't want to take my hat off anyway. Look like you got some sun.
Yeah.
Sun.
I didn't wear sunscreen today. My goodness, I look like an engine.
Well. What is that?
You're white.
Hey, you knew you married an Irishman, so I don't want to hear it.
So, no, yeah.
No, yeah.
No, yeah.
That's good. Where's the tape? It's in my pocket. Which pocket?
Right here. So, come along. Let's start digging.
I didn't get to say anything in that. That works for me. I guess now I get to talk about my box. We already have the Just hide it.
Are we ready?
We're ready. Everybody face the camera. Look good. But really, I don't know what I'm going to say. What am I going to say?
We do have to be back.
And where the end of our original water line that we installed is at as well. God, I hate this. Okay, so tell them what we're going to do. I want you to talk some. I talk too much in videos. No, I've got it. I'm so close to get it. Hang on. I'm so close. Hang on, I feel like the camera's really short.
I feel like the cat is very loud.
I did all that talking and then I went to turn it off, but it turned it on, so I didn't have it on to begin with. Do you know Wayne's World?
No.
Well, you definitely wouldn't know another phrase in that movie.
What's that?
I can't say that on camera. The face says hello. There we go, camera. Now stay, just like that. Ha! Aerate the dome here.
It's got pipe dope on it.
It does. Pipe dope never dries, which means it's all over your hands if you ever touch it again. Maybe that's why I call it dope. Because you can always tell if you've been touching the dope. It's all over you. You're on the dope. I'm on the dope. I do want to put, alright, I'm back. I do want to put gravel at the soap shed because that's going to be a mud pit whenever it rains. So we'll do gravel and maybe something to catch the splatter.
That gravel that we can just back up and...
We do. That's a good idea. As usual, Angela has a great idea.